Now, Orion, I'm very interested in knowing how your own healing journey have shaped your personal healing style and then becoming a shadow worker and a warrior shaman.
Well, the idea came to me when my mother passed. She had brought me into this life, and I always promised I'd see her out of it. My mother died in my arms, and that was a really beautiful moment for me. And I was worried about the journey of her soul, and so I went to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I found that they had a chant there for the soul, and I did this for 49 days at dusk and dawn, and the chant was Om Mani Padme Hung.
Yes.
And I did that, and then one morning it was cold, and a friend of mine who had died, and he was an atheist, and he appeared when I was doing this chant. And I thought, I have an emotional relationship with him. I said, go away, this is for my mother. And then the next day, he was there, but somebody else I'd served with in the army. And I thought, this is different. And then when I was doing my training with my third teacher, he talked about death walking, where the first layer of consciousness after death in the Greek traditions is known as Hades. In the Tibetan traditions is known as the Bardo. It's the place of lost souls. And so what I came to understand was that we can go from here into the Bardo and retrieve a soul and take it to its soul family.
So you learned
how to do that.
Yeah. So you experience this by yourself, and also you learn from your third teacher.
That's correct. And so I learned that, and now we can go in and retrieve souls from the Bardo and take them to their soul family, which is the second level of consciousness after death. So I became what's called a death walker. In my own psyche, I have the warrior archetype. I'm a warrior for the Mother Earth, and I'm a warrior for spirit, and a warrior for this journey. And so with that in mind, in shamanism, we look to embrace a totem. And the animal world, and my totem is a bear.
And very suits you well.
And my first teacher, Richard Runningdeer, gave me the Native American name Kamai, which means big spirit or bear. And so I become the bear, and the bear becomes me, and I go into an altered state of consciousness, and I work in the spirit world in that altered state of consciousness. And from that viewpoint, I'm able to work with my clients to go into their soul, to see what's happening there. I can go into their emotional bodies and see what happens there. And I write up a report at the end of it so that people can read what I saw and how it all works, all of that. And let me also, while I'm talking about this, is talk about intergenerational trauma. When we have ancestors and there is trauma coming down the line, this can come into us via our DNA, and I can certainly work with that to heal that. And that's important, that we don't pass intergenerational trauma on to our children.
Yeah, I also remember that you have initiated your ancestral healing talent during the Amazon rainforest initiation. What happened? And then you said that you can see the one person's ancestral line afterward.
Yes, that's correct. So I went again to the Amazon. I've been there many times, working with the master plant ayahuasca. And what they did was some psychic surgery
during the divine process. Okay.
And then when I came back to Australia, now when I work with my clients, I can see their ancestral line, and I can clear any negative energy that's coming down from ancestors.
So that's the gift that being given you after you pass the test.
That's correct.
A spirit give you a huge gift.
That's correct.
And I believe each one have a different gift. Maybe once they pass their challenge.
That's correct. Yeah.
So you can heal the family traumas, and also you can heal provide ancestral traumas.
Yes.
Provide ancestral healings, especially their family are having some difficulties or some stories happens.
Yeah.
and then that can pass on. Well, we mentioned it before in the previous question. The DNA can be passed on to the next generation.
That's correct. Yes.
And then once our ancestral gets healed properly, and which can help ourselves and also help for our next generation.
That's correct.
And also I remember that you're dealing with a lot of severe, difficult case, right?
Yes. Yeah, I specialize in that. With me, I work with the highly traumatized, certainly from a sexual abuse point of view, from a physical abuse point of view, emotional abuse.
Specialize in all sorts of traumas.
All sorts of trauma.
Because you have gone through all of these.
Yeah, and it's where I've come from. I've experienced just about every type of trauma that there is, and I really love working with people who are doing it tough. It's my specialty.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you are good at emotional healing as well, because it's part of the trauma.
That's correct.
And from what I have known, you are also the principal of USA School of Shamanism, which is an accredited organization and a premium training provider recognized by the Australian government.
That's correct.
It should be very hard to get recognized by Australian government.
It was. It was.
How you get that certificate?
Yeah, So I have one of my graduate students is also a PhD psychologist, and so what we did was when people came for healing, we psychology tested them before they came, and then 2 weeks after they left, and we built case studies, and the empirical data then from the case studies was provided to the federal government, and said, okay, this is what they were like before they came, this is what they're like after they were finished, and the results were there. And the federal government said, yes, you have accreditation for advancing health.
Yeah, so you need to provide a lot of real clinical case to the Australian government.
Yes, that's correct.
And you need to prove that it will show the results in long term, not in a short term case.
That's correct.
Well, that's amazing that the government has recognized your healing organization. And I believe this national proof healing modality will help more people around the world, who has emotional, body, or spiritual traumas, and assist them to return to their peaceful, joyful, balanced of state.
Yes.
Although I have heard the story of your life and your healing journeys, I still get intrigued every time I hear them again.
Yes.
I totally believe that it's not easy to go through these traumas in life, which is a lot.
Yes.
And it's even more difficult to heal these wounds in our soul and come back as a healer.
Yes.
And your story, touches my heart deeply every time when I listen to it. I believe it's the same for our audience as well who is watching this interview.
Yes.
Orion, now we come close to the end of the interview.
Yep.
Is there anything else you would like to share to our Chinese audience?
Yeah. I think the most important thing I'd like to share is to listen to your intuition. My intuition is my connection to my higher self, my soul. Your intuition, how you feel about something, will never ever lie to you. If it feels right for you, it's true for you. If it doesn't feel right for you, it is not true for you, no matter who is saying it. So listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, that's your connection with your higher self, your soul. That's the most important thing that I can pass on. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity today. It's been wonderful. And I invite all the people of China to come to Spiritual Integrator and click on Spiritual Integrator, and I would love to work with you to effect a healing of the body, heart, mind, and soul.
If anyone is interested in booking Orion's healing, so you can find us through a Spiritual Integrator platform.
Yes.
And we can start from here.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. So see you soon.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.